Welcome back, YouTube. So, I did a thing. I don't know if you can see that better. I don't know. It's a really pretty picture frame for a really pretty picture. I wasn't going to do a video on this. And I kind of start the video at the end of the project. But I figured it's best to impart some lessons to you while they're fresh in my mind. And kind of has to deal with this. So, I guess this is another humiliation video. Let's get to it. So with the level of complexity that this has, it's taken many hours longer than it needs to. And well, I think that needs to be addressed because some of my projects do end up taking exponentially longer than what I initially think. I did touch on this in a few different videos, specifically how to manage expectations. But sometimes you also have to manage the expectations of yourself and know your limits. That sounded like a fart. There we go. When I initially laid this out, I figured it'd take me 2 hours to paint the whole thing, put all the detail on it. So far, it's taken me, I don't know, 6, including the layout. I probably have another hour and a half, 2 hours here. So I figured that'd be a good place to start. When you're doing something like this, it's easy to get yourself carried away with putting too much detail into a project and not really considering the time factor. Now, this is just for a friend, and I'm not charging for it. But if I was, I can tell you the client would not be happy. You know, at $30 an hour shop rate, this cheap frame is now quite expensive. And having it take, you know, an extra 2 days to finish, even though it does look pretty, it's not something they would be happy with either. I'm not exactly sure the best way to go about this, but I think I need to start adding in more fluff time to what I can expect myself to accomplish as well, especially with skills that I don't practice very often. You haven't really seen me paint anything yet, have you? Now, there's not really that much of a call for it. But I figured, you know, it's just white lines. Yeah, well, these thin white lines take forever to paint. And I think this is called like a mandala. I'm not sure if that's the style or if that's a, you know, specific element to the style, like a repeating, because I know this is, I took this off of mandala, and this too. So I'm not sure if that's a style, a type of art, or something more specific. I think it has to do with the repeating patterns. But then again, I don't know. So I'm going to speed this up and give you some music to listen to while you're watching me do this. But the biggest thing you need to learn how to do is manage your time and to properly assess how long things will take, because this is dragging on forever. Now I hope she's going to like it, It's going to be a frame for a cross-stitch piece, similar to the Deadpool frame that I did. And I'll probably have a link at the end of this to that video, so you can see how I made the frame. This frame's made the same way. It's all furring strips, but instead of leaving it rough like I did for the Deadpool frame, I decided to really polish it up and make it really pretty. And I ended up adding 2 coats of purple paint to the front of this, just so that it would get, you know, just a little extra nice, because this is going up where she works in one of the hospitals where she works. So, you know, as an art piece. So I want to make sure it's as nice as I can get it. But that's also biting me right in the tush. And you see how long these little lines take. And because I have to use such a thin brush, I don't get a whole lot of paint per stroke. So I have to keep dipping back into the paint. And you have to paint this thing twice, because not only does the purple bleed through on the white, but I laid the whole thing out with Sharpie first, which I think was a terrible idea now that I think about it, but I had no idea at the time. But that also bleeds through. So it really mutes the white of the paint. So you have to do everything twice, which is also a killer for time. So I mean, several lessons I've learned doing this piece. And hopefully some of that translates over to you guys, so you don't get stuck in a similar situation. Because I did not get a video out today, so I figured I'd do it on this. At least try and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Also, this could really, really negatively impact your bottom line. And I think you need to be aware of how that can come back around at you. Because this is a business, folks. And yeah, I like doing things for friends, but this also hurt my YouTube channel. And because I didn't get a video out on time, killed my sleep schedule. Not yesterday. I had a friend's birthday party to attend halfway through doing this. But the night before, I was up until 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning working on this, from 4 in the afternoon. Now that included, you know, dry time and stuff, but still, it's something you really need to consider before you embark on a project like this. So let me speed this up for you guys, and hopefully you can get some entertainment out of my suffering. And I'll try and put on the good music or something in the background too. One last piece of advice I'd like to impart before I speed everything up, and this kind of has to do with the painting itself, the process of painting. Not big projects like painting the purple or anything, but when you're doing the small detail lines, I find it's very helpful and almost therapeutic to have on some music that you don't really need to pay attention to. Things you've heard thousands of times. I've also found it's helpful to have a glass of water, because you'll start concentrating so much on this that you will lose track of time very easily. And for some reason, whenever I'm painting, I get exhaustively thirsty. So the less times you have to stop and come back, the more efficient you are. So enjoy my suffering. Well, YouTube, what did you think? I know it's not standard for how I do my videos, but I figured these lessons are something that needs to be talked about, especially if you're trying to run a business. And I'm glad this wasn't for a client, because they would probably be very upset with me. However, I know the girl very personally, and she will really appreciate this. So it's kind of worth the time. Also, it's going to be hung up in her place of employment in a hospital. So I did want to make it as nice as possible, and I think I achieved my goals. However, the time management, adding fluff time into what you're doing, really needs to be taken into account before you do any undertaking. So, with that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe. Do you guys have any tips for me on how to better manage my time, or how to account for things like painting all the detail in this? I really had no idea what I was getting into, so I don't know how I could account for that, or how I could, fix that. But yeah, if you have any tips for me, please let me know. I could really use them in the future. So this is the obligatory Patreon post thing. Anyways, so please check it out, guys, and if you can, please help me out. Projects like this really sap me, and I'm doing a couple charity projects on the side that aren't going to get filmed because I don't want notoriety for it. But if you could, please check out that page, and if you can, I would really appreciate even $1 a month. It would really help me out a lot, guys. So check it out, and thank you to all my existing patrons. You guys really help me out a lot, even though it's not that much. It's a real big help. So thank you. Otherwise, I release a new video every Monday and Friday at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Well, as best as I can. This took over my week. Oops. I'm going to start pre-filming stuff like weeks in advance, just so when stuff like this happens, I'm not dead in the water. I had a thought. Can you tell I'm frazzled? I'm a little frazzled after doing all this. So guys, again, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Somebody can get a laugh out of it. And thanks for coming along. Thank you for helping me make a better world, one kerf at a time. See you later.